Hi student, today we will continue with another chapter for Architecture 110. The structure, the lecture is Construction Plans and Specification. This is the chapter, it tells you the process, how do you do for the CD. That means you do construction document before you submit for the CD. Usually right now a lot of cities still use the paper, so you can use 24-36 inches for the paper, and you submit many sets depend on which one you do. So today we will talk about that, the way how you ready for structural calculation before you submit for the city to get the permit. We call that the construction plans and specification. So same thing with another chapter. After you read this one, you need to answer and email me for the answer. So on the structure calculation structure construction plans, we have many sheets you need to submit for the city included in the packet. However, I can show you the basic sheets you need to submit for the city. When you call some kind like I need to go to the city to submit for the city, that means the construction drawing you need to submit for the city. And one of them is a lot of people use AutoCAD. Some people they draw by hand. However, with the manual drawing, if you do very good lettering and very good knowledge about architecture, you can do by hand. But I'm not recommend all of you, if you not do very good on manufacture, you don't need to submit on hand drawing or do by hand manufacture, because if you do not very good and when you submit for the city, the people plan checker like me, for example, if I see something I cannot read or you do some on the drawing is so bad, I can say you incomplete set and you need to do again. So it take time, take more money for material. So if you can do manual, that means you can draw by hand, do it, but for make sure that the people check for your plan, they can read which one you draw. If not, if you do so messy and you did not follow the rule for architecture, they not approve for your plan. So on the set, we usually have the title sheets, and after that you have the site plan, you have floor plan, reflect ceiling plan, finished floor plan, exterior elevation plan, interior elevation plan, section detail, general notes, and more than that. This is the basic, some of the basics or the standard sheets you need to submit in the construction drawing. We go each of them. The first one is the title. In the title sheets, you can share with everything. First one, you can do the general notes. You use the title if you have. After that, the people working on with you for that project, you can use any legend for the symbol, for the wall, for the roof, any symbol you use in the drawing. You can show the agency information for all of the consultant work with you. You can show the seat occupancy for right here, because it is a restaurant, they need it. If you're residential, you don't need it. And you can show the project's data, which one from legally record from from the government, or something you need to use for the code, for example, and you put it right here. After that, to share the SIS index for all of the sheets you use for that projects, maybe architecture, mechanical, structure, electrical, something like that. You need to show like this. And the map in the title block, usually on the right side, you show the name from the address from the projects, and after that information from the projects, what time you submit, what time resubmit, something like this. And the people start to design and they need to sign up and stamp. This is the one when I work for STDR, we design for 11 bar. Okay, so the second one is the site plan. Remember the site plan you show the projects include with on of around that building. For example, use design for elephant bar, and you need to show the parking and everywhere around in the shopping, and you show the street if you have the street, and after that on of the store around your area include your your shop. So that's why basically site plan is show everything about the building and some of the parking, some of the landscape around with the freeway or the street around. If they see the big projects, you need to show on the site plan with the note also. This is one example, so you can see the site plan when we design for 24 Fitness is right here in the corner, but I need to show whole of the shopping center with the parking lots, with the freeway and the street, how can get in, and for the way how can get in the 24 Fitness. This is the projects right here. So we call that the site plan with the scale. In architectural drawing, the first one you should remember, this is the title, which one you draw. The second one, you need to have direction, north, south, east, west. You need to show by the arrow. And the last one, very important thing, this is the scale. If you not put the scale, the people check on the plan, they didn't know what scale you use it, and you can return for you because it's not complete one. And after that, you need the title block to show everything. Floor plan is the one I think that's important in the projects. In the floor plan, you show the space from each of the part in the projects. For example, this is the residential, so you have garage, you have the porch before entrance, you have the foyer, you have bedroom, dining, bedroom, porch in the backyard, breakfast, master bedroom, and the kitchen. This is 2 levels, so you need to show the stair. If you have 1 level, you don't need to show the stair. So basically on the floor plan, you need to share on of the space locate in the property, and very detailed with the wall, with the window, with the door, and on of the space around them. So basically floor plan, you need to show on of them about the wall, the window, the door, and the space for each of them in the projects. This is one example from the floor plan for 24 Fitness. You see that's the entrance right here. For 24 Fitness, the office work right here, the office right here, and after that you have cardio, you have the kid club, you have the pool, you have the spa, you have the steam and sauna. So basically the 24 Fitness includes a basketball area. So floor plan again, this is the floor plan. So floor plan, you need to show direction, you show dimension, and the note you want to put for this one. So the floor plan show on the wall, the window, and the door, the trellis, or everything around the building. And you need the note, because something you don't need to put everything on the floor plan, you need to show on the note for the people see the number, they can look on the right side for make sure they have information for that. Next one is reflect ceiling plan. Reflect ceiling plan, RCP, this one I can ask on fill in the blank for 3 number 2. So now basically reflect ceiling plan is show on the ceiling what kind of the light you use it, and what kind from HVAC system you use for whole of the house or in the building. So basically ceiling, that means they show everything on the ceiling. However, you need to see the wall to know that where is what room they use for the ceiling like that. For example, this is the ceiling on this room, and you roll over with this one for another ceiling to you on this room by the wall. So basically on reflect ceiling plan, you show every items in the ceiling, on the ceiling. However, you need to see the wall from the floor. So make sure how big from the area you need to design for the lighting, the HVAC system, the smoke detector, the carbon monoxide, or ventilation. So everything on the ceiling you need to see on the ceiling plan. This is example for reflect ceiling on 24 Fitness. Before you see the floor plan, and this is the ceiling plan. They use very simple, just the hanging line, and after that some of the fixed line. 24 Fitness. Next is finished floor. Finished floor, this is on the floor. So that's why if you see right here, again you can see the wall for separate between space to space, and after that you show the floor. What kind of the floor you use this? For example, this is the luxury house. They use a lot of different tile in the carpet for the flooring. So you see that's the picture. They can put the notes in the carpet by the number, and after that the title, water title or Italian title, what kind, what style, they put the notes for you. And this is the wood one. So basically floor plan is the one they show the floor, what type of material they use on the floor, and of course they put the note for you. For example, this one is the title, and after that this is the wood, some kind like the carpets. So basically finished floor plan it show everything about material from the floor. This is one example for 24 finished floor plan. Okay, so next is exterior elevation. We have two elevation. This is exterior and interior. This is exterior. That means you see around the building, how high from the building, and what is maybe the landscape from that one. So basically this is the shopping center, and you can see that's how high from the building, how many stories from the building, and the window face with awning or something like this, or what design on look outside face from the projects. This is interior elevation. That means you see something interior. This is the section cut from of the thing. This is the house, so that's why you see the door, you can see the sofa, you can see this is media center, and you can see something on the kitchen. So basically interior elevation, which one you think that's interesting inside from the projects, you can share on elevation with them. See another elevation in the kitchen area. Okay, so this is some of 24 Fitness interior. You can see that the wall from each of the room is different. For example, if you go to 24 Fitness, you can see the room from Group X is different with the room in the office, and different with the room on the sauna, the pool, and different with the mechanical room. So that's why all of them you need to show on detail sheet. This one is the section plan. If you see like this, that is section from residential 2 level, 2 story. So you can see the section, so you can see insulation, you can see the roof, you can see the truss, or you can see the roof rafter, you can see ceiling joint, you can see the beam. So that's why section plans is the plan to show the structure cut from the building. And of course you see the main height from the building also, and the name from the room, and after that you see the wall between them. This is 2 stories, you can see the stair, section cut from the stair, and everything else. Especially you see the material inside from the structure, from the building. This is the section cut from 24 Fitness, and the detail sheet is the one you show on of the connection detail from the structure. So that's why on the detail you can see a lot of the detail about the structure, from the roof, the floor, the foundation, the wall section, the shear wall. That means everything about the structure you can show on the detail. Okay, now second part. The first part we learn about document, construction document. So now second one is specification. This is the book. They share with you all of the detail material they use for the projects, they put in there. And outside you can see the stamp and the sign from the consultant. Some people working in the projects, they need to stamp and sign outside. Specification. For example, the book right here, when I work for the first company after I graduate, they work a lot of the project, educational projects, and this is the middle school. And one of the projects, it takes so long I see on this company is 6 year, because when they do one, the school, even just the school, the middle school or the high school or elementary school, but it's belong to the government. So that's why it's so long, depend on the budget from from the project. So that's why it takes so long. When I work in there, I see one project is stay like 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. So it's so long for the government projects. So now in the specification, you see a lot of the people in the consultant. For example, architect, electrical engineer, structural engineer, plumbing engineer, food service consultant also. They need to stamp side outside. In specification, they divide many division, and each of division they show something specific in there. For example, division 2 they show the site plan, 3 for concrete, and they continue with that. So basically, on the specification, you need to see on of a consultant. They need to sign up right there outside. Many division, and they need to special about finisher, a floor, a specific specialty or equipment or furnishing, or on of the detail from the material to use for the projects they need to put in this book. So that's why they call that specification. And each of division they need divide many section. That means more detail. For example, division A is door and window. After that, we have many sections to tell about what kind of the door, window, what kind of window, glass, aluminum or metal or wood, something like that, more detail. And after they have the section, they have part. So the more detail about general description for the projects. I mean the material. After that, the products deliver, quality, quantity. So that's why more part in the section. We have the part 1. So that means the smallest one is the part, the second one is the section, and the last one is division. One of specification book they have many division, and each of division many section, and one of the section they have many part. So that's why do you see how much detail on the book 1? So we call the book, that book we call that specification, and usually they need to ready 2. One submit for the the city, and the other one they save for the company. So now that's the specification. Like I told you, they divide by many division. After that, each of division they have many section, and finally one section they can have many parts. So in general, you can see the structure from the specification. It's look like that: division, section, and the part 1. I think that's all for chapter today, construction and specification. Again, for architecture 110, beside of the canvas files you can see on the textbook, and finally you can look at on the lecture on Happy Life, True Life YouTube. So on of the lecture I save on there for you, so you can open that and you can see the detail from the lecture. You can read on the canvas files on of the lecture I publish on there, and also a lot of the chapter from the textbook Architecture, the 3rd edition. So on of the lecture resource in here. So thank you so much for watching, and if you finish your major architecture, you go to apply for the job, and I think that after that you will familiar with this one, construction plan, because on of the time you work with construction plans. Specification is just for senior architects, the people really work long with the major, and they have a lot of experience to work with everything from the projects. They understand very much about how much material they use for each projects, how many door, how many window, what kind of the door, what kind of the window, the roof rafter, ceiling joint, beam, what kind of beam, what kind of material they need to use for outside, inside from the projects, and which one we need, how much you need, so what company you need, to buy or to order something like that, plus more. So that's why specification is for the senior architects. They work along with the major, so their knowledge, it cover everything from the projects. Beside of design, they can write down everything about material will use for that projects. So that's why it's safe for the senior people only. About the young people, after you graduate from major architecture, you usually work a lot with structure construction plans. Maybe depend on how big from the company, they can give you to do the floor plan, ceiling plan, or detail, or something like that. I remember when I worked for one company, they call that HNTB. That's a very huge company. They have nationwide and international working. So that's why they so huge. I remember the project Terminal 6 at LAX, Terminal 6 with the United Airlines, and we work on there on the ceiling roof only. One project, when I'm start to work, is almost 3 months to do for on of the ceiling from Terminal X, United Airlines, LAX. So I remember that project. Every day I coming and I check on the ceiling. After that, draw the line for the light, and after that, draw the T-bar, everything on the ceiling, and keep going on, repair, refix, change, something like that. Talk with the client to change about the light, to change about the ceiling T-bar, to change everything about the ceiling only for United Airlines Terminal 6 LAX for 3 months for just one job like this. So that's why it depends on the company. If the small company, you need to do on, up, down, from design to production. But in the big company, maybe you just focus on something and you do long time with that one only. Okay, thank you for watching and see you next time.